Ever want an Imperial Star Destroyer designed with a focus on Venator-like qualities? Look no further than the Secutor-class Battlecarrier, the Empire's largest carrier-focused warship. Sit back as we discuss everything about this unusual vessel. One thing I would like to begin this discussion with before we get into the details of the Secutor class is the design focus that Kuat drive yards had in the Republic era versus the Imperial era. This way we can better understand the uniqueness of this vessel. The designers over at Kuat drive yards and Rothana Heavy Engineering were always hard at work designing warships even before the outbreak of war seen in the Clone Wars. But this was always the plan, as they were contracted to produce vessels like the Acclamator-class assault ship and the Venator-class assault ship, those being the primary capital ships used by Republic forces. They were needed when the clones were needed, and building ships of these scales is no small feat. However, it had been thousands of years since the last galactic war, so these vessels had to focus not on massive size or incredible firepower, but on starfighters, as the galaxy saw how vital a good starfighter was during the blockade of Naboo and its liberation with the N1 starfighters, which is where we get the main design elements of the Venator and its insane fighter capacity. But we all know about the Venator. War progressed, and the results of the battles between CIS and GIR vessels weren't positive for the good guys. CIS vessels tended to outnumber Republic warships, and their size coupled with a balance of firepower and droid fighters left the Republic with fewer and fewer carrier capital ships. The biggest takeaway for the burgeoning Empire and their navy was the need for more powerful Star Destroyers. While Imperial-era Kuat drive yards may have swung the pendulum too far in the direction of size and firepower, older models still remained, even some Acclamator-class 2s. This leads to the Secutor-class battle carriers, which blend a mostly Republic-era Kuat drive yards with some decent firepower seen in the Imperial Navy. The Secutor-class battle carrier, also referred to as a Star Destroyer, is unique in its design, but still gives you the feeling of familiarity. It has the classic arrow-shaped hull seen in almost all Kuat drive yard Star Destroyers, and it has two massive ventral hangar bays for launching its complement of starfighters. One of the most unique design features of the Secutor is found protruding from the center of the vessel, its command tower structure with two parallel bridges, similar to a Venator-class Star Destroyer. But rather than being located near the aft above the engines, its placement gives an uncanny appearance to fans of popular Star Destroyer classes. You could argue that this gives the command crew a better vantage point, and maybe could protect the bridge if the engines were targeted, but I don't know how strong of an argument that would be. If someone knows why you would want a command tower protruding from the center of your vessel, let me know in the comments. Moving on to the firepower of this battle carrier, we find it has quite the armament, a total of 15 heavy turbolaser batteries, 15 light turbolasers, 10 battleship ion cannon turrets, 5 battleship ion cannon batteries, 16 medium cannons, and 12 hull-mounted heavy tractor beam emitters. This amount of turbolaser emplacements really emphasizes the fact that this is an Imperial-era Kuat drive yard Star Destroyer. But what you might be surprised by is its starfighter capacity. Or maybe you won't be surprised considering the Secutor is called a battle carrier. Anyways, the Secutor class could hold a complement of 144 starfighters, ranging from the standard TIE LN, TIE Interceptor, and TIE Bomber. Now, this number is far less than the Venator, but it is definitely impressive considering it is double that of the Imperial class of vessels. Side note, I know it's easy to consider the TIE Fighter as useless and, well, cannon fodder, that one could simply hop in an X-Wing and destroy 10 of them in one bout, but you're wrong. I highly recommend you check out the Rogue Squadron series of books, as it gives a more realistic idea of how deadly groups of TIEs can be. I think that Poe Dameron's inhuman ability to scratch TIE fighters one after the other in a span of 10 seconds gives us the impression that they're no easier to kill than a powered-down battle droid. Other than the 144 starfighters, the Secutor carried numerous shuttles, possibly including attack shuttles like the Starwing, landing craft, utility vehicles, AT-series walkers, and ground assault vehicles. To man a large battle carrier like this, you needed a crew of 40,000 officers, pilots, and enlisted personnel. To defend the Star Destroyer or deploy to the surface of an unfortunate planet were 14,000 troops. These troops most likely consisted of a combination of Imperial Army and at least one Stormtrooper Legion, which is usually 12,800 in itself. Obviously, you can't forget the groups of heavy walker and tank operators. While numbers tell us one story of the Secutor-class battle carrier, it is important to know that this is no mere starfighter transport. It's not the Quasar Fire-class carrier. This Star Destroyer was most often used as the flagship of its own task force, leading offensives against the Rebel Alliance, along with its smaller support and escort vessels. Alternatively, you could see the Secutor-class flying escort to any number of Imperial Navy star dreadnoughts. When you consider its own weapon capability coupled with its starfighter complement, the Secutor is no slouch. It's worthy on its own to fly amongst the great vessels of the Empire. The Secutor-class battle carrier isn't as flashy and as intimidating as the Imperial class. Maybe that's just based on its slightly goofy look, especially compared to a Star Destroyer carrier like the Venator. But it definitely has impressive amounts of weapons and starfighters to unleash on the filthy rebels. The more I dig into different warships, starfighters, and starships of Star Wars, the more I wish I could see them in TV shows, movies, or comic books. Of course, that's the sad reality of many of these models, as the universe George Lucas created opened a sandbox of possibilities to different creatives throughout the years. Regardless, this is all I have to say on the Secutor-class battle carrier. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments below. Tell me how you feel about this strange but powerful Star Destroyer. Make sure to subscribe if you have not done so, like this video, and join the Discord just to hang out or suggest other weird and interesting vessels. Have an amazing day, and may the Force be with you.